And we are off. We are recording, and we are here with another episode of the GAJ Podcast. Welcome to episode 11, everybody. If you've been with us at all, you are first of all noticing that we are sans JR. This is not our full-time job, unfortunately, so JR is out there making some paper and paying the bills. Obviously working. But we're going to power on without him this week, and we'll just plan on having him back next week. However, since the bros are on and we are having an exciting offseason, we're going to talk about something that I'll be honest, I pivoted a little bit, but we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about JR, I guess. We're going to talk about the Bears. The Bears. If you follow the NFL, you know that our beloved Chicago Bears are making a whole lot of noise. So I think we're going to talk about some moves they're making and just kind of go from there. Now, I am going to throw that disclaimer out there again. As per usual, we are in no way, shape, or form any sort of experts, official sources, or, whatever, professionals in terms of any of the information we're covering. We are very amateurish, big old fans talking about stuff that we just don't have expertise in, but we love our Bears. So, first thing I wanted to ask my little bro Alex is, do you still miss Justin Fields? And we'll both answer these questions, but if one thing you'll learn about us is why this is a fun question for us. Alex, take it away. Do you miss Justin Fields?
This is a subject that has caused a lot of toxicity among Chicago Bears fans. There's been a civil war regarding Justin Fields and moving on. Of course, this is prior to Justin being traded away for a jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
But, we won't know until we see what's on the field for sure, but it's still going to go back to, got to go to that what could have been scenario where
100%.
We came across the draft. If we would have kept Justin Fields and built around him like we should have, we could have drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., who's having some problems right now with I think the NFLPA, the Players Association.
Sure.
I think that's signed a contract, and then we could have also drafted either another wide receiver with Roma Dunze with our number 9 pick, or we could have addressed the offensive line, getting Olufashanu at left tackle because he was still available at number 9. Yep. I think it was drafted somewhere in the teens maybe. But right now I'm still saying, we won't know for sure until we see what goes on in the field, but just based on what could have been, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of taking the more emotional approach here. I miss Justin Fields, being not only a Bears fan, but also an Ohio State fan and what he did at Ohio State. It was fun to watch. You saw so much upside in watching Justin Fields the last couple of years. But you're right. They just didn't build around him right. They didn't manage him properly or coach him up properly, and he just wasn't put in a good situation to really thrive. And I think that I think that's where some of the debate comes from, and that is that he has a ton of upside. The athleticism, the arm strength, the ability to improvise and create on the fly. There's just so much there to peel back and just there to admire, right? He could do so much, and he just wasn't, they put some tools around him, but not enough, and I don't think they prepared him enough. So I'll always miss Justin Fields, but It is what it is. We are where we are. There is a shadow puppet behind me. Hey, babe.
This is her weekly appearance. So if you're playing the weekly game, take a shot.
Is there a such thing as podcast bombing? Because that's what we're doing. the weekly podcast bomb.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Did she eat?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I know.
We're trying. Well, she's trying some new outfits for work, and it's working. It's working.
This is the first time in 2 years the skirts fit me.
Cool.
Bye, Alex.
Hi, Ashley.
Ashley says bye.
Hi, Millie.
She said hi, and now she's saying bye because she's going to walk out and close the door. With the dog. Maybe. Go on, pup. Go get her.
Puppy. Come on, puppy.
Quick reminder, we are an amateur podcast, and we have lives. But yeah, Justin Fields, tons of upside. Just didn't have the success that we wanted to see out of him in Chicago. I think he has a little ways to go, but I think he is going to see that success that we all think he can achieve. Unfortunately, it's not going to be with Chicago, and I'll just go ahead and say it. I'm not going to feel all that bad if he comes back and shows us all up, right? I mean, he deserves that. Like, I won't feel bad about it. Will I be disappointed that it's not for us? Of course, but at the same time, I'd love to see him have some success and maybe even have a chance to kind of stick it to our front office a little bit.
I was kind of preparing for this even before the last season started because I was listening to a lot of podcasts, and even they were saying that there's an ego aspect to it because Justin Fields was drafted by Ryan Pace, who's no longer with the organization, and with Ryan Poles coming in, he wants to be the one that drafts their hero and then put all the effort around him. So I was kind of prepared for it, and as the season went on, they're still saying that it's probably most likely going to be that they're going to, if they get their number one pick, that they're going to go after someone new, and Ryan Poles could draft his guy. And then even when after Justin was traded, even Ryan Poles' departing statement was kind of, to me, it kind of reinforced that because in a statement he said, "Justin, I didn't draft you, but I'll always cheer for you." I was like, yeah, okay. I could see the ego aspect is probably a pretty significant factor when it came to this decision.
Yeah, and if you put yourself in Ryan Poles' position, you probably not necessarily afraid of failing, but you want to be the reason you failed, not that you failed because of someone else's decision, right? So I kind of get it. I'm still going to miss him. But man, I did like that sentiment, and I will always be a Justin Fields fan. I don't know how I feel about the whole, there's been a little mumbling about him being on special teams.
That's
God, what a waste. I mean, granted, I get it. They paid peanuts on the dollar to get him, right? But boy, if you bring him up right, man, he could potentially be something really, really special. But coming back to the Bears, how are we feeling so far? Lots of offseason moves, coaches, players, draft, not just draft picks, but some pretty notable signings along the way. The first one being, Keenan Allen. I thought that was a pretty nice little pickup. I don't know. Here's the one thing. In thinking of this question, how do you feel about our wide receiver room right now? Is it too crowded?
No. Keenan Allen's old. That's something people need to remember is that he's 32. So, in football years, that's pretty old. And some of that Adonze could possibly learn from. And I don't see Keenan being a long term with the Bears. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but with his age, I just don't see him being. I start to see his effectiveness starting to drop.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Keenan Allen. Here's what I like. I actually like that. He's a seasoned veteran. He's a proven talent in the NFL. He can make plays. I feel like maybe I'm wrong about this. Again, I'm not an expert, but I feel like he brings a sense of leadership to that room, especially with it being a little bit crowded, right? You got Rome, you got DJ Moore. I know we got rid of Claypool, but didn't we sign another receiver?
Well, so Odunze's coming in. We drafted Tyler Scott last year.
Oh, Tyler Scott
was available. So that's kind of a miss on the Ryan Poles, record sheet there.
Yeah. Well, but maybe a little bit of veteran leadership and mentoring. Maybe he develops a little bit. I think my thought has always been when I heard about the Keenan Allen signing is he wants to get out there and win. He wants to lead a team to a Super Bowl, get that trophy, right? Get that ring. And I feel like if we pull it off, whether it's this year or next year, I think he could be riding off into the sunset right after that. And deservedly so. Hats off to him if he can pull it off, because I like it. I like the veteran leadership. I like the veteran experience. DJ's still pretty young, so...
Yeah, I think he's around 26 or 27.
Yeah, so I think there's still a lot of upside with DJ, so if we can get the right mix in there, it could be a fun show to watch, especially with, obviously, the new quarterback. Man, I think, again, kind of trying to put myself in Ryan Poles' shoes, I think he did what he had to do. He wants to fall on his own sword, not on somebody else's sword, right? If that's the case. So I gotta say it. I like the moves, man. I thought it was aggressive as hell. I think he was playing a much more complex game of chess when we were all trying to play a little bit of checkers, right? So I like his thought process. I'm gonna miss Justin Fields, but I like his thought process. I like how aggressive he's been, and I'm feeling pretty positive about what we're doing so far this offseason and what it's starting to look like going into this next season. What's your favorite move so far this offseason?
Did that include the draft?
Yeah.
Oh, Rome Odunze. So, I mean, we knew that Caleb Williams was going to be taken number 1 by the
yeah.
It was that Rome Odunze. And I'm not going to say Ryan Poles orchestrated the Rome Odunze pick. It was Rome Odunze just happened to be available because Atlanta took Mike Penix Jr.
How about that?
After making Kirk Cousins the highest paid quarterback on planet Earth, more than Tom Brady.
Unbelievable.
It just happened to work out that way.
Unbelievable.
I don't give credit to Ryan Poles. I give credit to the Atlanta Falcons.
I
keep wondering who would have we picked if Rome Odunze would have been taken by the Falcons.
There was another. Who was the?
Shanu. I mean, we could have addressed the offensive line, or we could have gone Brock Bowers. That
wasn't the LSU quarterback or LSU receiver still out there?
No, he was taken.
Yeah, he was taken pretty early.
5.
Who was I trying to think of? Wasn't there another Washington receiver that was pretty good?
There was, but he's not. He wouldn't have been top.
Oh.
He wouldn't have been. I don't think he's first round.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Both Washington and LSU had another receiver. They're taken much later in the draft.
Yeah. I'm almost mad at myself for asking that question because now I don't know how to answer it. Favorite move? I just like the positioning so much that we were in that. I like the Rome pick because Rome Odunze pick because what a strategic move to be there, right? We already had the number 1 pick overall, and I think I think Ryan Poles was playing a masterful game of chess with everybody, and I bet he had 2 or 3 picks he was ready to go with at that 9 spot, right? All ranked.
I don't give him credit
Duse
for,
was up
for
there.
getting Rome. Rome was just getting lucky.
I think it was, yeah. But I think he also knew there was a chance.
I think definitely, but I think what should have panned out is that Adonze would have been taken earlier, and then we would have ended up with, like, I don't know, Shino or Brock Bowers.
Right.
Or Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner was still available.
I can't remember anymore. Yeah, man. So, really aggressive, really aggressive. I loved it. We got a quarterback receiver combo that hopefully, pans into something that becomes extraordinary over time, right? Not just this year, but well into the future, that keeps us competitive. We got a few defensive pieces. We signed I think we drafted an edge rusher that's a little bit of a developmental project, right? Coming out of KU. And then I think we signed somebody too. Am I correct on that one?
I didn't see if we signed another one, but
we were looking at somebody from Miami.
And the edge rusher we got were both developmental, so it's still
it's a work in progress.
I think we got free agency, so and we definitely need to build up that the depth within that offensive line, because Caleb has a tendency to drop the ball. He has a tendency to fumble a lot.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep him upright and give him enough time to go through his progressions. What do you think of the punter pick? Dude out of Australia, right? Former rugbyer.
I would have rather drafted a higher quality, a higher ranked offensive lineman, because they say this guy. They say his punter's generational, and that term's been thrown around way too much. Caleb Williams, a generational quarterback. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh yeah,
wide receiver. This Iowa dude, the generational punter. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
He's a punter.
Here's the thing: you're gonna know. Well, at least with Caleb, you're gonna know in 3 years whether he's panning out or not, right? Punter, like, if you get a couple years out of him, I think we're good. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that draft pick yet. I think that's gonna be something that time will tell. Kind of weird. Like, he's got a huge leg, right? He can boom a 60-yarder, 60, 70 yards. So.
Wow, great.
And
I'd rather give more protection to our quarterback.
Me too. But I also get that, field position is a big deal, right? So punters play a big role in the field position game. So, hopefully Ryan Poles is playing what seems to be a masterful game of chess, where a lot of other people are playing a little bit of checkers. So time will tell.
If we get higher quality edge rushers or offensive linemen before the season starts, I can overlook the punter drafting.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So the big question, because you see it, I'm seeing it in headlines and some clips. Unfortunately, I've been pretty busy, so I haven't been able to watch as much as I'd like, but can we win the Super Bowl this year?
That's picking up way too much steam. People are jumping the boat.
I agree.
I think,
but we got to put it out there if we're going to say it, right? If we're going to talk about it.
I think the expectations need to be really high, just given the hype that's around the quarterback. Some of it is self-inflicted, so you better be ready to back that up. And then with the team that he's been provided, the guns, all the weapons that's surrounding them, on the offense with wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. There's no reason why he should not have a spectacular season. I'm saying CJ Stroud's season last year is going to be his floor. That should be the floor. It's like, okay. Yeah, that's on par.
I'm with you. I agree with winning, even getting to the Super Bowl. That's a big hill to climb regardless, because, very good-looking team, but a very young team. I mean, Keenan Allen. I feel like Keenan Allen probably has a few years left in him, right? But everybody else is pretty young. I mean, in that respect, after Keenan Allen, it's DJ Moore as far as the talent positions, right? The skill positions. And DJ Moore is only a couple years into his career. So it's fun because sky's the limit, but getting to the Super Bowl, that's a tall hill to climb, especially when there's a reasonable chance that we have to go through the 49ers to get to the Super Bowl. But
yeah, I think we need to be in the conversation for it.
Yeah. But I do believe, not just the management, but the coaching staff, they've got to put together a reasonably successful season in that we don't just make the playoffs. We make the playoffs convincingly and, go at least a couple rounds in, right? I feel like we have to at least win the conference.
Yeah. If we lose in the first round, it's not,
especially if we get blown out, right? They have to look competitive. They have to make the playoffs convincingly and look competitive. I feel
people
like
are going to say, well, what's fair for Caleb Williams? Who cares what's fair? Life's not fair. Ask Justin Fields.
Yeah.
So you got to look at this, given all the hype, given all the staff changes, given all the weapons that have been provided, and say, well, we can't think about what's fair because you're a 22-year-old kid or 23, however old he is.
I'm not worried about Caleb Williams at this point. He's a rookie, and if you coach him up right and manage him right, I think he has the tools to be successful. The coaches need to do their jobs. They need to get the formula right. They've got a whole bunch of ingredients. Now they just need to bake the cake the right way and make sure they put a good product out on the field. What do you think the result is if we don't put together an impressive season? Is Poles out? Is are any of the coaches out?
I think Eberflus and his new beard will probably be out. Shane Waldron, I don't know. Shane Waldron's kind of a mystery because we know that Luke Getsy was terrible. We know that he's a big part to blame for last season and missed opportunities with Justin Fields or misuse of Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But
they clearly were not on the same page going into last season. They were not even close, right?
But I don't know if Shane Waldron is a good change. He's probably better. But if people who watch Chicago Bears podcast, especially CHGO Sports, during the combine, was it combine or draft? I think it was a combine. There's a pretty, I think this interview went pretty viral because they're obviously a Bears podcast. We actually had two receivers on there from Ohio State. They had Chris Olave and Jack Smith-Njigba stopped by. Jack Smith-Njigba plays for the Seattle Seahawks, where Shane Waldron came from. And the guys from CHGO asked, what do you think of Shane Waldron? And Jackson Smith-Njigba went silent, got very awkward, and then said, "Is this live?" Said, yeah. And he gave the most PC answer of, "Oh yeah, he'll find the strengths of every player and utilize them to the best of his ability." Some total BS. That's not a good sign.
Oh boy. Well,
as we think, I mean, that's just one thing that came up about Shane Waldron. I don't know if anything else has come up. I'm sure there might be.
Here's the thing: if that's the case, one, I think you're right. So I think Poles might be safe because he, like you said, he's been playing what seems to be a masterful game of chess, getting the pieces in place. I think if Eberflus and Waldron can't put points up on the board and can't get us to the playoffs convincingly, I'm with you. I think they're in trouble.
Well, Eberflus was given 3 years. That's why he came back. That's why he wasn't cut. He said, it's going to take 3 years to build up a team. So that's, they definitely have a lot of the right pieces there. A lot of
seemingly right.
So they're set up for it. It just needs to prove it on the field.
Yeah. So with that in mind, how are you feeling about going into the new season? Are you excited? Are you scared? Are you nervous?
I'm skeptical. I mean, I see a lot. I subscribe to a lot of Bears podcasts, and I've kind of tuned them out in the past couple months because I kind of don't want to hear it about like, hey, this guy. They take everything and they blow it up. They're like, oh, this guy said the Bears can win the Super Bowl this year. I'm like, shut up, dude. Just let's see it first. Let's see something happen. We haven't seen this team play yet.
Yeah.
Taylor Williams hasn't taken a single snap in pro football.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's completely impossible because I'd love to see it, obviously, but a little bit of a ridiculous ask. Even with there's a ton of talent, but a lot of that talent hasn't really played much together yet. I mean, obviously, Caleb, rookie, Rome Odunze, rookie, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen haven't run together yet. I mean, as far as receivers, it's Travis Scott, not Travis Scott. What's his name?
Tyler Scott.
Tyler Scott and
Can't catch.
DJ Moore are the only two that have been on the field together as far as those skill positions. Even though all the running backs are new, I believe, right? I don't even know who our running backs. I don't even know who our running backs are.
We took DeAndre Swift, the guy that was the guy.
Oh, that's right. Duh, I forgot about that. Yeah, from the Eagles.
Foreman's gone. Khalil Herbert's still there, and Rashawn Johnson is still there. But I think. But
DeAndre Swift has got to be the
RB1
de facto starter.
I think they're saying it's going to be Swift.
Yeah.
I liked Foreman. Foreman became a beast like later on in the season last year.
Yeah.
But I think we knew that he was just on a 1 year deal.
Yeah.
Swift, I think, might be a 1 year deal too.
I think Swift is a 1 year deal, which sucks. I wish they would have figured out how to pull off 2 years because I feel like we're going to need at least that 2 years to get to where we need to be. Convincingly, right?
A pretty solid bag. I think Herbert. Well, I don't know how much longer we'll have Herbert. I think Herbert's pretty good too.
The way he runs is so violent, though. He's bound to get hurt at some point, right? So I like having multiple running backs.
It's pretty deep. Running back.
Yeah. I think we need it. I'd like to. Man, I'm excited, man. Admittedly I am. I'm trying to remain cautiously optimistic, but it's hard, being in our seats and seeing what's been happening, who we've picked up, who we've drafted. Man, it's hard not to be excited. But I'm also trying to remember.
NFL is also throwing the Bears a bone here because they released the schedules and they ranked all the team schedules based on the strength. The Bears' strength of schedule is third to last, so they have one of the easiest schedules in the league. So to further set up the Bears for a successful season, in addition to draft picks that they picked up over in free agency or just over the offseason and coaching changes and other staff changes, you have one of the easiest schedules in the league. You're third to last.
You know what?
Right.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Play Green Bay until
we don't play Green Bay until late.
Yeah. It's not the first game.
It's not the first game. It's not till November, mid-November, and then we play them the last game of the season, or the regular season, I should say. Yeah, I mean, looking at our schedule, our preseason looks way tougher than our regular season.
Depending on how Caleb plays, because they're going to be like, all right, watch the match between Caleb Williams and Jordan Love.
Our preseason is the Texans, the Bills, the Bengals, and the Chiefs. I will admit, I'm glad that's not our regular season. That'd be a tough one. It'd be a gauntlet right there. We do have the Texans. Oh no, I'm sorry. We lead off against the Titans for the regular season. Texans, Colts, Rams. Yeah, jeez. November 17th is when we play the Packers. I think the Texans could be tough. That's week 2. I'm not saying none of these teams, the Titans, the Colts, Rams, Panthers, Jags. I'm not saying they couldn't be tough games, Commanders. But they're not the Chiefs. They're not the Bengals. They're not the Packers and the Vikings. Once we get to when we're playing the Packers November 17th, it does get pretty tough, though. We go Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, and then Vikings and Lions again. So the second half of the season is going to be tough. I'm hoping that bodes well in that we can get into a rhythm, right? All these guys that are new with each other, right? They're all talented but haven't played on the field yet together. Hopefully they can get into a rhythm before November 17th and, show us some stuff. That's the hope. I'm excited, man.
So October 27, November 3rd, and November 10, we got like the top picks in the draft. So October 27, we play the Commanders, Jaden Daniels. November 3rd, we play the Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. And November 10th, we play the Patriots, Drake May.
I'm curious about that one too.
All three in a row right there.
Yeah, and then we go through the gauntlet that is the NFC North has really picked it up this year. I don't know what the Vikings are looking like.
Their QB1, I think, is going to be Sam Darnold, unless JJ McCarthy wins the job.
That's it. But the Packers, obviously, they're, I hate to say it, they apparently pulled it off with Jordan Love, and they've got a pretty good-looking quarterback in there. Pisses me off, but it is what it is.
We took Simone Biles' husband.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Well, hopefully he's ready to stick it to the Packers. The Lions obviously looked pretty good last year. They looked really good.
Positivity.
What's that?
There's some potential off-field positivity with Simone Biles, especially because I think we have the Summer Olympics coming up.
Oh, that's right. Hopefully she doesn't get another migraine in the Olympics. Hopefully she can.
October 6th is against the Panthers, so you got the two most recent number one picks playing against each other. And they're both small. One's just smaller.
But I don't know. I'm excited. I actually had somebody ask me, because the Bears are playing in Kansas City for the preseason, the last preseason game of the year. And I got asked about buying some tickets. I'll be honest, I turned them down because.
You want to watch Tyson Bagent throw the ball?
Yeah, I'm like.
I did when they played the Chargers last year.
I felt bad because I felt bad because my buddy was. I think he was like a little offended. I'm just like I'm not into the preseason game. Like it's the last preseason game, so if the starters even get any reps, it's going to be like one drive, one series, and that's it. So I'm like, not going to see anybody. There's no way Patrick Mahomes is playing on the Kansas City side, or Travis Kelce, or Chris Jones.
If the tickets are really cheap, I'd say go, but probably not.
Yeah. I mean, he asked me because he knows I'm a Bears fan, right? But it's a preseason game, and I get it, and I'd like to go, but I'm saving up for a wedding, man. I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money on a preseason game where I'm not going to see any of the guys that I want to see anyway, so.
Yep.
But, man, I don't know, man. I think it's potentially a really fun time to be a Bears fan, and God, I hope they put a respectable product on the field this year, because that's not only going to not make me feel like I did last year after 5 games, but it'll get me excited about the following seasons too, because right now on paper we have a good looking product, we have a good looking team. Now we just need for those stat columns to fill out the right way, and more importantly have those the win and loss column be tipped more in our favor this year.
Especially in Green Bay.
especially in Green Bay.
Actually, in Chicago too, when Green Bay comes to town.
Yeah, we play them in Chicago first, and then
In Green Bay.
Green Bay.
In Green Bay in January.
Oh God, what are we? 0 for?
Last time we beat them,
When was there?
He took them out of the playoffs. We went to the playoffs and lost them in the first round. So I'm gonna guess 2018.
Oh, so we did beat Aaron Rodgers. I was trying to remember if we even beat Aaron Rodgers.
At least maybe twice. I could be wrong.
Oh God, that was like the most painful thing to hear him. Remember that game when was that two seasons? It had to be at least 2 seasons ago when he was like scored in Chicago and just started yelling, "I own you."
Yep.
Oh, that made me so mad. Not because he said it, but because he was right. He wasn't lying.
Well, if he actually owned the Bears would probably be a better organization.
That's fair too. Oh, the Bears. The Bears, the Bears, the Bears.
One thing he does not own, AstroTurf.
Nope. That owned him pretty quick. Ate him alive. What, 4 snaps in?
That's going to be a great rewatch as a Chicago fan where you see him run out there, carry the American flag. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, I'm on a new team.
For 4 snaps.
4 plays.
That was wild. I remember like just telling all the, because I play softball with a Jets fan, and I'm just like, I sympathize with you. I sympathize with you. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that had to be incredibly deflating. I sympathize with you. Let's expand this conversation. What do you think? What do you think about the Chiefs? Can they three-peat?
They had a hard time last year.
They did. They struggled, but we have a few more games this season, and they got hot at the right time. If they do it again, man, they could be tough, right? The Chiefs look good. I will admit, living in Kansas City, it's hard to not be a Chiefs fan. Not over the Bears.
Bandwagon.
But, well, I mean, I was here already when
I never became a Rams fan when the Rams went to the Super Bowl, when they won the Super Bowl.
You know what's funny?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, I've never been a Cincinnati Bengals fan. I don't know why.
Joe Burrow, I think, will be back. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. There's an obstacle for Kansas City.
I tell you what, though, when the Rams won, again, I'm not any kind of expert or guru, but they were a early season pick for me. I actually, like, going into that season when they traded for Stafford, I was throwing it out there. I'm like, I thought they had a very good chance to win the Super Bowl, and that's what they did with Matt Stafford. I kind of liked that Matt Stafford got to win a Super Bowl because he was so loyal to Detroit for a long time, and they just, outside of Megatron, they just didn't put very many tools around him.
It worked out for both teams because now Jared Goff is.
And now,
yeah, I guess. Surprise is good.
Jared effing Goff. You know what? And I have to say I'm pretty pleased for Jared Goff too, because he took the Rams to the Super Bowl also, and all anybody would ever say is that they made it to the Super Bowl in spite of Jared Goff, not because of Jared Goff, in spite of him.
He's like Rex Grossman.
A la Rex Grossman, and that's got to be, you're the quarterback of a team that just went to the Super Bowl, and everybody's saying that your team made it to the Super Bowl in spite of you. Like, that had to be a tough pill to swallow. That had to be tough to hear. So I'm kind of happy that he was able to turn that around.
He gets millions and millions of dollars. I think he's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair too.
Oh man, just talking shit about me on Twitter. What should I spend this $2 million on? I don't know.
Wipe my tears with my hundos.
Lambo or something.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. The Chiefs look tough. The Chiefs are going to be tough. They struggled a little bit last season, and everybody here around the Kansas City area will admit that. All the Chiefs players admit it. But they figured it out and got hot at the right time. Now, interesting thing about this season is there's a little bit of off the field stuff. Rashee Rice getting into an accident in Texas and running from the scene. So he's potentially going to be suspended to start the season.
Typical pro football player shit. That's like tomorrow will be someone on the Bears. Someone on the Lions next week.
He had a teammate pull some of that heat off of him though, a la Harrison Butker. Do you know that one?
No.
The speech he gave at Catholic University? Yeah.
Oh, he's taking. I heard he's selling a lot of jerseys, but that's a guy.
Yeah.
The guy who keep in mind that's a football player who does not get touched. He does not get hit.
I actually felt bad for him because somebody that works for the city doxed him, put it on Twitter from Kansas City's, like the official Twitter page for the city of Kansas City, right? Basically posting like where he lives, and I thought that was pretty messed up.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that. I don't care if he said. Doesn't matter what he said. Like, come on, man. Over a speech that, was given to. He's a devout Catholic and has he's very outspoken and proud of his traditional Catholic beliefs, whatever you want to think about those. And he covered them in a speech to a graduating class at a devout, traditional, private Catholic university. That's all I'm really going to say about that. You don't have to agree with him. You need to understand, I think if you're going to be critical of it, understand the audience who he was talking to and the traditions and beliefs and values of that university lined up with his speech. So I don't think that's a reason to dox him or penalize him. He wasn't on company time, right? He wasn't speaking on behalf of the NFL or the Kansas City Chiefs.
Or Catholicism. A lot of Catholics have said he doesn't represent us.
Yeah. I think he's allowed to express the way he believes. So I didn't have a problem with it. I actually even heard my interpretation was a little bit different than everybody else's, but regardless, he wasn't talking to me. That speech wasn't being delivered to me. That speech was being delivered to the graduating class of a Catholic university. So I don't have to agree with what he said. I do believe in freedom of speech, and he said it. But the Chiefs also got the fastest guy on the combine. Broke the record for the 40-yard dash.
That guy comes with a story.
Huh?
That guy comes with a story. Xavier Worthy, boy. That boy is fast. I'm kind of skinny on his story. This is really college, and yes, I'm from Ohio State. Xavier Worthy committed to Michigan. Here's how it kind of unfolds. Xavier Worthy he committed to Michigan, then he decommitted and went to Texas.
I'm okay with that.
Graduated to the combine, broke a 40 record. So on Twitter, Michigan fans were bitching at the wide receiver coach they had at that time. I think his last name is Gaddis. I don't know he's at a different school now. They said the rumor was that Xavier Worthy switched schools because the wide receiver coach at Michigan hooked up with Xavier Worthy's mom. That's why he left. So Michigan people were attacking him on Twitter, and the proper thing to do for that coach would have been to just not respond. Well, he responded. He said it's not true. And if you want to, if you want to know about Michigan cheating, I've got receipts.
Oh boy!
I heard about that.
I always wonder, like, if these guys, why doesn't anybody tell them just to let it blow over? Like, shut up, lay low, do your job keep your head down, do your job, and let time take care of it.
The fans that kind of instigated this, so it's kind of like the coach shouldn't have said anything back, but he did. It's kind of like, well, he should have said something, but he kind of won that battle there.
Yeah. Oh well. All I know is I'm excited to watch the Bears. Man, it makes me nervous though, because how excited were we all going into last season? We had DJ Moore, we had Claypool, we had Justin Fields that was just terrorizing defenses if he left the pocket, and then we went 0-5. I think we went 0-7, didn't we?
Luke Getsy just calls for screen passes.
Oh,
Tyler
it was
Scott,
awful.
you can say Tyler Scott's a rookie, so he gets a pass, but Duke can't catch. He's very fast. But Duke cannot catch.
Yeah. All I know is,
Darnell Mooney wasn't good either.
That's why I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic going into this next season as a Bears fan through and through. I will always be a Bears fan, but man, last year was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. Hard to watch because we went into the season with so much optimism. So much optimism. And in the end, the best thing that happened to us was Taylor Swift showed up at the game that we just got absolutely annihilated in. And so nobody even remembered how bad we got beat because Taylor Swift showed up.
Yeah. Well, some of it also came down to injuries and just plain bad luck when it came to the offensive line that was built up prior to last season.
That's true.
Nick Davis' mom passed away, so he missed some games, which left a big hole in that offensive line.
I think Darnell Wright got hurt too, didn't he?
Darnell Wright got injured, and then you'll have what's his name? Tevin Jenkins will get injured, and we're just totally incompetent at center. Cody Whitehair was just
he's gone now, though, right?
He's gone. He replaced him with someone else. And we didn't have any answers on defense as far as like the line goes. I mean, we took on Yannick Ngakoue, who wasn't really that good. Defense didn't really improve until we got
Sweats.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say Keith Sweat. That's not Keith Sweat. Ever since we traded for him, I'm like, Keith Sweat. I'm like, wait, that's not right. Montez Sweat. Second rounder for Montez Sweat, which I think was.
I will fully admit too, when we got that pickup, I didn't necessarily hate Montez Sweats, but I was more. What I was focused on was why didn't we make a stronger play for Chase Young?
Yep, exactly. Who got traded for a third rounder, so it was actually for less.
Yeah. Like what? But I will admit. Worked out pretty well for us. So hopefully,
Young is younger than Montez Sweat. I heard some rumors that he's not good in the locker room though.
Chase Young.
Yeah,
I heard that too.
But I think it might be true.
Yeah, I heard that too. And if that's the case, with the cohesiveness that the Bears had in the locker room, despite what was going on, but despite the record last year. I think it was probably the right move.
Chase Young is in a neck brace right now.
That's right. I'm not mad at DJ Moore for expressing some disappointment and losing Justin Fields as his quarterback.
Oh, DJ Moore, the best season of his career last year.
Yeah. But he's getting on board with the new team, and, there is a business aspect to it, and I think I like DJ Moore a little more this year than I did last year because he was outspoken with his disappointment about losing Justin Fields, but he also got back on the horse and, got back in line and knows that he's got a job to do and wants to win games and win a Super Bowl. So I guess I just like that whole series that he went through, So I'm a DJ Moore fan this year.
I thought I heard he was the Bears were having problems with him. That may have been bullshit.
Me too. But I think he just missed a few OTAs.
Oh, okay.
So
it probably got exaggerated then.
Yeah. But you'll have to excuse me. My 50-minute timer is going off, letting us know that we should not go too much longer so that we don't bore the crap out of you if we haven't already. In any case, I'm excited about the Bears. I can't wait. Although, me being a baseball guy, still pretty excited about the Cubs right now too. They're looking pretty good. Shota Imanaga's looking good. Dansby Swanson's coming back. We got a stud.
Cubs beat the Braves today.
Nice.
10 innings.
Michael Bush. What an impressive rookie. Between Michael Bush and Shota Imanaga, man, we got some good rookies. But
I really wish Ohtani. I wish he would have gone to the Cubs, but I wish he didn't go to the Dodgers.
I would have lost my mind if the Cubs would have got him. I would have been all over that jersey already. Because I am a Shohei fan. I don't care what team is on. I'm a fan. I think he is the most exciting thing we've seen in baseball in a very long time. Even with the fact that he's not pitching this year. But I hope they do let him pitch again because, well, I think they will because that's such a draw from a marketing standpoint. Yeah.
I thought he's out this year as far as pitching goes. He can't pitch until
he's
next
not
year.
pitching this year.
Yeah.
No. He's definitely not pitching this year. But there's been talks of him just not pitching anymore because he's such a prolific hitter. He's just hitting bombs, and he had a walk-off the other day.
Yeah, I saw the walk-off.
But man, not since Babe Ruth. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what he's done, and I hope he gets a chance to get on the mound again because it's I don't know. It's just cool to see. It's something that's very hard to pull off. So. Anyway, I think we're going on tangents now. What is your last comments? What is your record prediction for the Bears this year?
Oh, God.
I know.
We should have won 10 last year. Because going into the fourth quarter, it's almost impossible to lose the game, and we did the impossible. We lost the game.
All in the fourth quarter, a lot, yeah.
So given that we should have won 10 last year, the staff changes, coach changes, new weapons that were picked up on offense, the supposed generational quarterback, way above 10. I'd say how many this season? Without looking at the schedule.
We have 2,
even
4,
knowing
6,
we have
8,
the
10, 12, 14.
Knowing that we have the
16 games? 17 games this year?
I can take a quick look here.
17 games this year.
Preseason. I'm gonna scroll through and just try to count losses. I think we beat the Texans. I think we beat the Colts. Rams. Beat the Rams. Beat the Panthers.
You think we'll beat the Texans? They looked pretty good last year, and They're
I think they added weapons.
they're loading up the same guns this year.
Beat the Cardinals. Beat the Patriots. I'm gonna say we beat the Packers twice. Fuck them.
I like it. Man, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna say, oh man, the Lions. We played twice.
Play the Lions twice, play the
That's
Vikings
good.
twice, play the Packers twice.
So I'll say we lose one to the Lions. One of the two
Okay.
to the Lions. I think we do have an easy schedule.
Seemingly,
We're losing to the Niners. Okay, so there's two. One Lions, one Niners.
yeah.
I'll throw at least a third in there. So that was 16 games. I think 16 games.
17 games. I don't know how we... Oh, no, I'm sorry. 16 games. Wait, what am I doing? No, 17 games. That's crazy. I thought we were only playing 16.
So we'll lose to the Niners. We'll drop one of the two to the Lions. And then I'll say one other one that I don't know who it's going to be, but we'll lose one other one. So I'm going to say 13. No, wait, hold on. Is it 17? 14. We should
13
win
and 4? Or 14 and 3?
14 and 3. I feel that's
Oh,
too
I would
rough.
love that.
I'm going to say 13 and 4. I'll say the two other ones that we're going to lose outside of the Lions, the Niners. I'll say there are two more. There'll be two oopsies.
So you're going with...
I'm going 13.
13?
Yeah.
13 and 5?
I think that should be the floor.
Or 13 and 4, I mean.
I think 13 should be the floor.
I think... So actually, that's where I was going to go with, too. 13 and 4. Maybe 12 and 3, or 12 and 5. I think 12 and 5, though, is borderline... Eberflus might need to be thinking about his job. I think I like 13 and 4. I think we should be able to do that, and I think that would make me feel a little more comfortable with Eberflus keeping his job for another year, but no more than another year because he's on what? He's on year 3 this year, right?
This is going to be a third.
His third year on a 3-year contract.
Remember that Lovie Smith was fired after a 10-6 season.
And so is Eberflus on his final year of his contract?
I don't know.
Oh, I say if he gets the 13 and 4, I say give him another year. Not a long-term contract, but another year. If he does better than 13 and 4, I'm okay with extending him 2 or 3 more years. But anything less than 12 and 5, if he doesn't win 12 games,
I'm calling 13 the floor.
I'm okay with that too.
Given the roster changes, the coaching changes, the strength of schedule,
Yeah,
momentum on defense coming in from last year.
I'm calling 13 wins. I'm okay with giving him another year. 12 wins. I think there's a lot of debate to have if he only gets to 12 wins. Less than 12, I think
The very embarrassing thing
there's
to do.
no more debate. Like you're done.
To do is to draft a rookie QB, play one season with a coach, and then fire that head coach. that's the embarrassing thing to do.
That's
Mitch
true.
Trubisky and have the Mitch Trubisky and
Man,
John
that's
Fox,
true.
have the Justin Fields and Matt Nagy.
You know, I just want to get the quarterback right for once. The Bears just have this awful reputation of never getting
That's not saying
Getting
Justin
it right at
Fields wrong.
quarterback.
I don't think it's the
No.
quarterback. Right? It's the quarterback. It's the entire team.
Well, right. Justin Fields was dealt a bad hand in going to Chicago because they just completely mismanaged that entire process with him. They did not get the right quarterback to play in front of him to start his career and give him somebody to learn from. They got Andy Dalton. They have nothing. Their games are completely different. Their skill sets are completely different for quarterbacks. What was Justin Fields going to learn from Andy Dalton?
and
sorry,
a
but-
really shitty offensive line,
Yeah.
and no one to throw
It's-
to.
Yeah. So, for once, I don't. He was just completely mismanaged, all the way around, up and down. It sucks because Justin Fields seemed to be all in Chicago. Like, he loved being there. He wanted to be there. He was, he won us over as fans in the process.
He wanted to be like a Derrick Rose or Michael Jordan. He was Mr. Chicago. If he comes into Pittsburgh ever comes, I don't know if he's going to be on Pittsburgh after next year. But if he comes in on another team and plays in Chicago, I think the Bears fans will cheer for him.
Oh, I agree. I think so too. I think so too. Yeah, because he wanted to stay. I thought he wanted to stay, but in the end, I'm just gonna hope Mr. Poles gets it right. But for this episode, I think we're just going to go ahead and say bear down and call it an episode. Tune in next week. We should have JR back, and I will do a better job of coming up with a topic and a little more substance around that topic. But until then, this has been another episode. What's that?
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Thursday. Thursdays are release date. Unless I'm late. But we're going to call that an episode. So, this has been yet another episode of, where's my button? The GAJ Podcast. Thanks everybody for listening. Don't forget to hit that like button or dislike. I'm not too mad at you. Leave a comment. I want somebody to respond to, and hit that subscribe button, because you can't let Alex and me be half of our subscribers. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Adios.